Do your overheads dictate your price? Hi, I'm Tim Cooper, back with a little bit more tough love for you, because this is something that I hear a lot, like, oh look, I work from home, or I don't have a lot of overheads, so I only charge this or I only charge that. And seriously, what's that about? I mean, to say, are you saying that just because you have set up your business with low overheads, that all of a sudden the value and benefit of the service you're providing is now diminished? Are you now turning around and saying that just because you don't have high overheads, the value of what you are doing for somebody is less? Are they walking out the door with less benefit? Are you making less of an impact on their life? And also, by the same token, are you turning around and saying that if you're in a situation where you've got high overheads, that you've got to put your prices up? No. Obviously, your pricing has to cover your costs, otherwise you're going to go out of business. That's just very, very simple mathematics, isn't it? I mean, that's just business sense, that you've got to charge enough to cover your expenses. And so therefore, if you are in a situation where your expenses are very high and you're going to have trouble covering costs, charging a reasonable amount, then you've actually got to change your business setup. Okay, you just can't start charging 2 or 3 times more driven by your overheads. Okay, I'm not saying that you shouldn't charge more. I think you should charge as much as possible, because we do bring a lot of value to people's lives. But what I'm saying is that don't let the cost of business dictate your pricing. We see these days a bigger move to home-based clinics, home studios, whether that be a separate building on site or a separate area in the home where people can come, where clients can come, have a treatment, and they are not actually imposing on your life. Okay, you're not walking them through your house and not seeing your dirty dishes in the sink. These are really well established clinics where people just walk straight in a door, straight into a clinic room. There's toilets and other facilities there for them as well, but it is set up as if they were in a commercial clinic. And the big advantage of doing this is that your clinic now is actually supporting your rent or your mortgage, whether you're owning or renting your home. All of a sudden, instead of you having to pay extra clinic rent somewhere else, and then your mortgage or your rent for your home, now you've got that all in one big bundle. And for sure, sometimes you may have to spend more to get a location or get a premises that is suitable for this type of setup, because, as I said, your client needs to be able to walk in to a purpose-built area, so they're not walking through your home, and they also need access to toilets and other facilities, once again, without walking through your home. So obviously sometimes you may have to, if you own, you may have to do some renovation, and if you're renting, you may have to just search for a suitable premises. And that sometimes may cost a little more, but as I said, the benefit is that instead of you paying $500-600 a week rent for your clinic, and then $300 or $500 a week rent or mortgage for your home, which is now you're looking as an outlay in rent plus mortgage or rent and rent $900, $1,000. Instead of having to do that, now you can either start renting a place for slightly more expensive, say $500 or $600 a week, and you are starting to save quite a lot of money per month working from home, but it's got to be set up right. So then you turn around and say, well, okay, now I can just drop my price because now my overheads aren't so high. No, not at all. Do not devalue your service just because you have been prudent enough, wise enough to set yourself up in a situation where you don't have a lot of cost. Don't devalue the industry, okay? Just because you've got low overheads, don't charge half as what everybody else does. Don't charge half as what is reasonable, okay? At the going rate, we talk about price elasticity. We talk about what is the range of price that the community will bear. What will the range of price, so what is the highest price in your area? Because demographics change. There are some areas where, in your city, in your town, there are some areas where you can charge a lot more, and there are some areas where you won't be able to charge much at all. I know I live on the Gold Coast, for example, and in one area of the Gold Coast, it is not uncommon for people to be charging $120, $150 an hour for a massage. And then 20 kilometres down the road in another suburb, you'd be lucky to squeeze $75 an hour out of the residents in that area. So you've got to look at the area. Okay, so what is that area? What's the average? Now, we never want to be cheapest. Sometimes it doesn't hurt to be the most expensive, but we definitely don't want to be the cheapest. So there's plenty of people out there offering cheap massage who are broke and not busy. Okay, they've got plenty of time on their hands because people aren't always driven by price. And I'll be doing another short video about that as well. And I've spoken about price before. Okay, but do not ever just say, just because I don't have as many overheads, I can charge less. Why don't you just charge the same and work less? You know, like you only need half the clients to make the same amount of money, to make the same amount of profit as somebody who is set up in a commercial clinic who's got more overheads, okay? But please don't devalue yourself, the benefits to your clients, or the industry. Now, by just saying, I don't have to charge much because I don't have I don't have a lot of overheads, you are actually hurting the value, the perceived value of massage or naturopathy or homeopathy or whatever modality you're practicing. You're actually devaluing that industry in the eyes of the consumer. Don't do that. Okay? If you are lucky enough, fortunate enough to be set up in a situation where you've got little or no overheads, then reap the rewards. Okay? Because we've all got our use by date. There's only so many massages. There's only so many treatments in these hands. Okay? Mobile massage, not a lot of overhead. Doesn't mean that you have to go around and do mobile massage for $40 an hour. Okay? Because there are other factors. Always take those factors in. Believe in yourself. And just saying, it doesn't matter. It's what you give to the client. The client is after value. The client doesn't care about your overheads. The client doesn't care about your expenses, whether they're high or low. The client only cares about the value to them. What's in it for them? What's in it for me? That's all the client cares about. And if you provide value, service, benefits, and you improve their life, they don't care about your overheads and they'll happily pay the fees that you charge. Okay, I'm Tim Cooper, and you know I'm doing this. I'm on a mission, okay? We want to disrupt healthcare. We want to turn it on its head. We want to make what we do primary healthcare. Imagine what the world would be like if primary healthcare was preventative and not reactive. Wow. We've got to educate the public though in order to scale, in order to bring our services out to them, to let them know what we can do, how we can help them. We do that, and together we can change the world.